been sacked. Ikenga Ugochinyere was sacked yesterday in the United States, and they held that Ugochinyere was not validly nominated by the People's Democratic Party to elections that held on the 25th of February 2023. Now, as part of their judgments, the tribunal, in its lead judgment, by that was delivered by the chairman of that tribunal, Justice Anthony Olotu Akpovi, specifically directed the electoral body to conduct the supplementary poll in 55 polling units where elections did not hold on February 25. He held that his party, Labour Party. It would be recalled that INEC had declared PDP candidate Ugochinyere Ikenga as winner of the election with a total of 13,026 votes. Now, whereas the candidate of the Labour Party, Chigozie, came second with 5,696 votes, the petitioner, who was sponsored by the AP, and 68 votes. Now, where this gets interesting is that the petitioner, among other things, argued that the votes that were credited to the PDP candidates were wasted because he argues that the candidates of the PDP was not properly nominated or validly nominated. He told the tribunal that, contrary to the expression of the Electoral Act, the PDP conducted its primary election in a venue that was outside the constituency. In its judgment, the tribunal stressed that the document could not have emerged from an invalid primary election. Now, why is this interesting? The tribunal was that pre-election matters should have been settled before the elections, and at the lower courts. Also, that how a political party fields its candidate should not be challenged by another party, as it is an internal affair. Only members of that party are or should be allowed to contest whether or not a person is validly. Would say the higher court, the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, could have judged, delivered judgment in this regard. Why is the lower court delivering a separate judgment or different judgment? And joining me in this conversation this morning is Barrister Kisinga Ikoku. He is the legal advisor for the PDP in Imo. Barrister, are you there?
Hello, good morning.
Glad that you joined us in this conversation this morning, because this is a story just breaking this morning. Many people are wondering the petitions court yesterday in Nasfor, Idato North.
The line is broken. I barely got your question.
Okay, I'll take that again. So I'm asking, how did this come to you? The news of the sacking of the PDP rep member.
It came to us as a shock, and also we are embarrassed in the spotlight. There is a dispute about where the PDP conducted its primaries, whether it was conducted in the various constituencies and senatorial districts. And those issues have been canvassed. The case in point, the APC candidate, Abazu somebody, had at the pre-election, at the Federal High Court, filed a pre-election suit, saying on the basis that the PDP did not do its primaries for either North and South federal constituencies, that the court should nullify its primaries. They went to the Federal High Court. This issue was welcomed back. And the Federal High Court said, under Section 285, under the fourth alteration of the 1999 Constitution, any challenge that borders on nomination the process of nomination is within the exclusive preserve of the political party. That no other political party has the locus to foreclose into the processes of the primaries of another political party. They interpreted that section of the Constitution. The Supreme Court has interpreted it and said there is nothing in that section empowering another political party to delve into the processes of the primaries of another political party. You watched it. The Supreme Court reiterated that on the issue of the nomination of Alhaji Shetima, and again on the preliminary objection against the candidacy of Peter Obi on the grounds that his name was not in the membership register of the Labour Party, on the grounds that his name was not on the grounds of breach of sections 77, sub 2 and 3 of the Electoral Act. The Supreme Court made it very clear, restating his position, that any political party who forecloses into the business of another political party's primary is a meddlesome interloper, and that they have no business, no matter how they are paid, they should remain an onlooker. Even after this has been established, let me give you another point. There are 3 panels sitting on Imo Election Petition Tribunal. One of the panel, in panel 1, had all these preliminary objections on the same issue have come before them, and they resolved it in line with the decisions of the Supreme Court. It is only this panel 3 that has followed the line, trying to overrule the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeal on the very issue of internal processes and primaries of the political party. It is a shame. 2 panels sitting. The other panel variously looked at the matter and upheld the decisions of the Supreme Court on the matter. We have a system, of course, which we call a judicial precedent, whereby the decision of the Supreme Court of the matter becomes a precedent and binding precedent to the lower court. Unfortunately, this panel 3 chose to go against, to rebel against the decision of the Supreme Court in giving this judgment. Judgment that a few days ago was reiterated in the presidential election appeal panel. At least that one was settled. That is what the panel 3 has just done. Panel 3 has just brought the judiciary in ridicule, because there are 2 courts sitting. It's just for the mere convenience of efficient dispensation of justice that we have 3 panels. How can the 2 panels be giving conflicting decisions? Is it not a shame? So this panel 3 has brought the judiciary to ridicule. It is unfortunate, and as a party we repudiate it, and we are going on appeal.
Very well. You just stated that you're going on appeal, and but the petitions panel has said that another election should be conducted, and that your candidate and your party should be excluded from that election in 55 polling units across the constituency. What are you doing if the judgment also gives a timeline for which within 90 days for the what do you call it now, for the INEC to go ahead and conduct this election? And if you're going on appeal, you have would you be able to meet the time window?
Let me interpolate. You're a journalist and you have followed election processes in Nigeria. Of course, you ought to have known, even without my telling you, that election processes, when a decision is made by the first tribunal, it goes to the summit before the judgment can be enforced. You should know that as a journalist, when governors, when the tribunals or court of appeal have given judgment that a governor should vacate, a senator should vacate, a House of Reps member should vacate, of course you know that it does not happen, the enforcement does not happen until the exhaustion of the right of appeal. We shouldn't waste our time about that. You should know that. That one has been ingrained. It has been ingrained in our system. once there is a judgment, the candidate who is election petitions for House of Assembly, Senate, and House of Reps is the Court of Appeal. It is common sense, one is not argued. You need to know that the person already sworn in to the House of Representatives will remain there.
Let's also talk about the technical grounds for which the Election Petitions Court has delivered several judgments.
There will always be, of course, breaches that are fundamental. Just like you will say that you will still see a lawyer canvass that it has, of course, right to approach the court and file an action is the right inherent a citizen. You can't take it away. We cannot allow...
which also controls the center. What do you make of the chances of your party?
You're going outside my brief now.
Election. and I said this kind of on the Bible which says judges, do you rule? Do you judge rightly? He goes on whether he was rightly nominated or not. He has contested, he has won. But in Imo, he didn't know that he was nominated for Senate. At the same time, presidential election was going on. That knowingly should be brought into reckoning whether he knew. And I asked myself, which politician will not know that his name is on
doing to the system?
Okay, before I handle that, I want to have a challenge of qualification on the basis that the nomination is not a valid candidate. The same argument, you see, FCC on their own also need some member of nomination. So you see, what they decided in the September case was what they also decided in the preliminary objection of the FCC against P2B. Are you getting me? You see, the Court of Appeal rightly settled the matter by saying this qualification must be tied to any of the elements of this qualification, ingredients of this qualification, which is written in the Constitution, which is that any amendment of the qualification must be targeted at those institutions. This is for the political party, the people who contested the primary results. It's also nomination. I said there was also understanding that is because the people did not follow contested primary to 5%, and my party did not follow the electoral act in the conducting the primary. And the other people who I contested with chose based on the Constitution. That one they must do it under pressure. So that is settled for political party. It's as good as that, and I like it. It is sound judgment when it comes to that.
Okay.
So on the issue of confidentiality, like I told you, everybody is about there are two panels. One is a preliminary objection, so we have been happening because these other panels have followed the guidance of that. There is no peculiarity in FCT from other states. I remember a time when Lagos, you cannot compare the same with FCT. FCT does not have a capital. FCT does not have a governor. The president doubles as the president and the governor of FCT. Coming to tell me that they don't have the say who governs them, as well as the side over their affairs in the nation. There is not a problem, a sickness. Finding a solution to it will be difficult because someone may be sick for something else and you are treating someone something else. So yes, you are giving treatment, but the treatment may be making it worse. So I hope you understand me. So you see, we in the legal profession understand that we have a serious problem in the judiciary. As I'm talking to you presently, any lawyer that says he has not had litigants, especially in the political cases, tell him that when they are briefing you, they will tell you only on your expertise. I will also do my work. Of course, you know these days, I have to go and meet the judges. That they want to get me.
That's
This is the part of the lie on your expertise. Your expertise, and when this is being said, the entire legal profession, this is what it has become. That you can by our system follow it. They presented it to A. A said that is true.